Welcome back to another episode of the Boot Up or Shut Up podcast. From the Dome to Death Valley, and now the Smoothie King Center. If it's Louisiana, we cover it all. Saints, LSU, and even the Pels. Let's roll. Cue my theme music, which I still do not have. So look, we're going to get it. Don't worry about it. Look, I'm not going to waste time here. The Saints got embarrassed. Like, straight up dumps juice of a game. Like, I didn't record last week. So, like me, they just didn't show up. I don't understand what the problem is. I'm not going to dwell and waste anybody's time on it because it's just a bad taste. They got to get out their mouth. So, look, the game was over in like 20 minutes. The Seahawks ain't that good, right? You can blame special teams. You can blame the lackluster. I don't know. Coaching errors, all that. But they just didn't show up. Neither will I. Moving on. So, look, that's what it is. But look, if I'm being honest, the best part of the whole day was the uniforms. Finally, we got something that looked good. The all-white helmets are dope. And then they had the all-white uniforms looking ridiculously fire. And we got to keep that going. So I don't know. That's the only good thing we got going on right now. The vibes is the uniform combo, not that one from week one. So just give me the all-white all season and the all-black and leave it at that. Don't even bring nothing else out. Let's not even play these games. But I digress. And speaking of uniforms that matter more than the game itself, it's time to talk LSU Ole Miss. Look, this game is always something wacky, man. Whether it's the shootout from 2 years ago when we didn't have no defense, or it is the last year and Nuss throwing one of the best passes of the season and then winning in overtime to a comeback. Something crazy happens. The Billy Cannon's Halloween run. It's just gonna be a ridiculous showing. And look, it's already started. So we'll do a small recap. LSU blew out Southeastern. Big whoop. We knew it was gonna come. Great to see the offense finally show up when they're supposed to. But look, my biggest takeaway was Jawan Johnson. Sorry, too many Jawans. I'm thinking of the Saints tight end. Look, Jawan needs some more rushes, man. Like, I think he's probably the best running back right now. I don't know what's up with Durham. I'm not saying drop him, but you got to get the ball to Jawan a little more as he is just slicing and dicing and making the plays and following the blocks and letting things happen. So we'll see how it goes. Trey Green might be back this weekend, and the defense got to carry. But 56 to, I think they gave up 10-0. I don't even know this. I stopped watching after a while. Look, let's just be real. Let me find it. Look, the score was 56 to 10. What else you gonna take away from that? Like, I get it. It's fine. Cool. Great. Let's just okay. Now this week is a different story. You got Ole Miss hosting us. Call it a rivalry, call it personal. It just gets weird, like I said earlier. And then again, now you got Lane Kiffin's daughter in the mix. And I don't know if this was genius trolling, good timing. I mean, you know what week it is, so it's something. We don't know exactly what it is, but Lane Kiffin's daughter is posting pictures sitting on Wes Week's lap. I guess and he liked it or commented on it, like basically insuring to the world that they're together or dating. I don't know what they're doing. I don't really care that much, but hell of a time to post that. So we'll see who gets the best of that one. Drama aside, like this is LSU's chance with Clemson losing again, making us look bad. Florida losing. It's LSU's chance to put a quality win, supposedly, on tap. Like, they are number 4 ranked team now. They slid 2 spots because Miami beat Florida, who LSU beat last week. But whatever. So, it's LSU holding it down, trying to put a quality win because the rest of their schedule does not look promising so far as to what happened before. So, it's pretty cool. We're just going to make it work best we can. In other news, the SEC released the schedule for the next 4 years. We talked about it on a few posts this week. They had 3 rivals. We guessed 2 out of 3 right. It's a mixture of what we said. They're going to get Arkansas, A&M, and Ole Miss as their yearly rivals, and then it's going to rotate every 4 years. We'll do a total another episode just about that, probably the bye week next week as we get a chance to reevaluate things. But all in all, I mean, I think it's as fair as it can be. The actual schedules, the rivals they put together are cool. Some people just don't make sense. LSU it's okay. You're not gonna get Bama every year, but who cares? I didn't want Bama every year. I want to win. I don't want Texas every year. I'm cool. I want to win. But I'll tell you this: if LSU don't win this year, it might be a while. Because next year they get Texas and Bama, including everybody else they have on their schedule. And they got Clemson coming to LSU next year. And it basically rotates. So you get Texas and Bama next year, and then 2 years from now, you'll go to Texas and Bama. So you'll play somebody every 2 years, it rotates. But it's the best they could do. It makes the SEC tougher. Definitely no easy weeks, no takeoff weeks. So we'll see how the other conferences do with this information, if they're gonna change. If the CFP, the College Football Playoff Committee, cares enough to say, okay, y'all playing a tough schedule, or they're just gonna beat each other up for no reason. We'll see how it goes. So, as we transition and start talking about what else is going on in the state, because the Saints suck, and that's not a story no more. LSU is heading to a bye week. Basketball is starting to kick off. Across the way at the PMAC, you had Kim Mulkey and Mike McMahon hosting their preseason press conferences. Man, excited for Kim and her new team, LSU basketball. I will report when something happens. I got nothing, but it is what it is. But while we're on basketball, man, the Pelicans hosted their preseason media day, and man, I got more out of that than I thought I would. So let's talk about that next. So basically, if you didn't catch up on any of the Pelicans media day stuff, Joe Dumars basically walked in the building and told everybody, boot up or shut up. Straight like that. You hear Jordan Poole, Zion, Trey Murphy, the rookies, everybody I watched the interviews had the same message. Joe Dumars came in and set the tone and has been very direct on his expectations. And that was my biggest takeaway from everything, is that I can appreciate Joe Dumars coming in. And even during his press conference, he talked about basically having a plan. He said that he sat down with the coaches before the media session and said, look, here are my expectations, so you don't have to wonder, guess, or even listen to anybody outside this building. His expectations are short and sweet. It's not about wins, the number of wins. It's not about making the playoff or the play-in. His expectation is that the players come to work every night and be a competitive team, compete to win. That's what he's judging everybody off of. He basically said, if you come in and work hard and you put the work in to be a competitive team every night, then everything else will take care of itself. And that's true. He discussed building the roster and all the flack that the Pelicans got for how they built it, trades and bringing in different people and how people don't fit and things don't happen. And he said, look, his goal is to build a team that is deep and has depth at every position. He doesn't want a team built off of one or two people. He wants a team built off of anybody that he puts on the floor can come make plays. He says, look, if he has 10 to 12 guys that he can put in the game and everybody's coming in doing what he asks, to playing hard the entire time they're in because they're going to get a break or they know somebody else is coming in and they play just as hard, then you're going to outwork people. And I think that is not a shot at Zion, but a wake-up call. Like, look, they're not waiting on you no more, bro. They're not building a team around you. You are a part of the team. And if you don't handle your business, then it's going to be just that. You're not going to be on the team. I think Derek Queen is the replacement for Zion in some manner, and we'll talk about that in another episode as well. But that's what I got, man. It's about the culture. Joe Dumars is coming in trying to, and I know a lot of people do this, but coming in and setting the foundation for what the culture will be for this team. He is a Louisiana guy, and he just wants the team to reflect the people. He wants the team to work hard. He also talked about the kind of people he brought in. And I thought this was big when it came to culture. He wanted to bring in people who were obsessed with basketball, and that's all they worry about. And you listen to the interviews, and you have Herb Jones talking about his new contract, and everybody asking him what he bought and all the things he did. And he's talking about how humble he is. Basically, he didn't buy anything. He didn't spend any money. He didn't change his lifestyle. He signed the contract and wanted to stay in New Orleans because it allowed him to take care of his family and not have to worry. His family's in Alabama. He said it's 4 hours away. They can just drive to the game as opposed to have to jump on planes and spend money. He wants to be in New Orleans. And we know what Herb brings to the table. Trey Murphy is an ascending player who has gotten better every year. And if he can just hone in on keep getting better at what he's doing, I think Trey Murphy's a top 50 player in this league. Zion, I'll get to in a second. Jordan Poole, a new addition, but has come from, Golden State before where he was around a bunch of winners. They brought Looney in, who was a 2 or 3 time champion, bunch of winners. And a great example is Jordan Poole was joking that he was talking after practice, sitting down with the fellas, and he was like, I'll be in at 7:30 tomorrow to, get in the building to work out. And Herb Jones was like, cool, I'll be there at 7. And Jordan Poole was like, I guess I'll be here at 6:45. And so they just got that competitive spirit where they're pushing each other. They want to be the best version of themselves. And I think if it's not just lip service and we get the effort that those guys put in that way, then this will be a team that everybody can be proud of. The X factor is Zion. I'm not about to deep dive. Look, at this point in time, I don't have any expectations for Zion. Being real. Zion just needs to play. Put up or shut up. Boot up or shut up. Whatever you want to say. We don't want to hear. I mean, cool. The interview is a lot of PR answers, but that might just be his personality. I need to see it. I need to see Zion produce by being on the floor. I said it slow on purpose. When Zion's on the floor, he's a top 10 player. The numbers prove it. But he just got to be on the floor. Some are fluky, some are not. He looks great. He talked about getting with the trainer from the Pelicans and coming up with ways that made his workouts fun. He looks like a young Dennis Hainsworth, whatever. The All-State dude. He looked like him in Waiting to Exhale. I mean, whatever. So great. He looks great. Cool. He looked better last year too at some point. Like, okay, great. Let's hopefully he matured. Because if he did, Trey Murphy's coming back from injury. Herb Jones coming back from injury. Alvarado coming back from injury. Derek Queen's a rookie, but he's coming back from injury at some point. You got Looney. You got Fears. You got Zion if healthy. You got Jordan Poole. Maybe you get DeJounte Murray. I don't know. You have, what's the boy name? Sadiq Bey. You have a very versatile group of people who can play any position, and you can throw anything at them. With Joe Dumars laying down the gauntlet of how he wants this team to act and be, you should be able to scratch and claw some wins that you don't deserve. You should be able to push. Am I going to lay the expectation of the playoffs on these boys? Hell no. But, like I said with the Saints, I just want to see improvement throughout the year. If you make the playoffs because you stay healthy and somebody else get hurt, I'll take it. The biggest thing I can take away is I appreciate Joe Dumars having a plan and being able to express that plan. It's very different what we see on the other side of the parking lot from old Mickey, who just don't act like he want to answer questions at all ever, and we don't know what the hell he be talking about. So I appreciate Joe Dumars actually having a plan, sounding like he has a clue about his plan, and executing. Whether it works or not, we'll see. But I appreciate the fact that is there. And so, what will the Pelicans record be? Are you feeling optimistic? Do you like the additions? Put your comments down below and tell me what your initial thought of the Pelicans on paper. What do they look like? If healthy, do you think it's a playoff team? Do you think it's a waste of time? Drop it down low in the comments and let me see. Drop it down low. That pause. Sorry. My bad. I'm not even gonna delete it. I'm gonna just own it. My bad. So let me know what you think in the comments. That's what I meant to say. And like I said, Joe Dumars gave you like the clearest vision that you could have. Come in, work hard. And he's setting up a culture where everybody can speak directly, speak to each other, and hold each other accountable. A lot different than the black and gold. And because Joe's coming in here knocking doors down and kicking stuff over, Joe is my respect the boot for the weekend. I need everybody who talking nonsense about the Pelicans to give the man a chance. Was he my first choice? No. I really don't know who I wanted, but I feel like they just jumped to a conclusion. But the more I hear what he has planned and what he wants to do, and again, we'll see if it works out, I respect it. So he's not getting Pelicans himself are not getting any kind of national love, definitely, because they're at the bottom of the barrel and Zion's always hurt, and that's the only story they have. But they're not getting any notoriety like nothing. They just picked last for everything. It's like, damn, Louisiana, can we get LSU got to win this year? Can we get somebody? Because it ain't gonna be the Saints. Pelicans, LSU, you're our only hope right now. But you got to respect Joe. Joe is from North Louisiana. Joe went to college in Louisiana. Joe is a Saints fan. Joe is somebody who worked at every level to get what he has. He worked his way to being a college star. He worked his way on the bad boy Pistons, who got nothing for free. Take all the antics aside, they had the representation of that hard knock city where they put a bunch of grunt basketball players who hardworking individuals who just wanted to win at all costs. And so he knows what that building block is like. Not saying the Pelicans are going to be the bad boy Pelicans, but he knows exactly what it is that it looks like to put in the work and get the results. Those teams beat the Lakers when they had Magic and Kareem and Worthy and everybody else when they was the team to beat in the 80s. Those teams took down the Celtics of the 80s to get to the Lakers, right? Bird, McHale, Parrish, like, took them down. Joe Dumars is a Hall of Fame player. He has won 2 titles as a player. He's a Hall of Famer. He has won a title for putting a team together in Detroit. So he built that and kept that legacy going. And who was on that team? Rip Hamilton, good, yes. Rasheed Wallace, outstanding. Tayshaun Prince was a great find. You went and got Chauncey to be your leader. Ben Wallace as your center at 9 probably at that time when you had the Shaqs of the world and other Dwight Howard and people of that size and caliber. And guess what? They went and won a title off of grinding, putting in hard work, playing defense. So I can't do nothing but give Joe Dumars my respect to boot for this weekend because he is laying that foundation that speaks to Louisiana. When times get rough, you just keep going. When somebody tell you can't do something, you shove it in their face and show them you can. New Orleans, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, down the Bayou, Monroe, Shreveport, all these places are different. And what makes them what they are and what makes me and a lot of people love it is the culture. You know who you are. You don't try to front for nobody else. And no matter where you're at in the world, you bring that with you. And that's what Joe's asking for. Straight up. Bring this culture every night and fight. I can't wait to see what the results are. So that's it. That's the weekend reset. We got the Saints traveling to Buffalo. Probably the best team in the league versus currently right now the worst team in the league. We'll see how they bounce back. Can it be worse than last week? Probably, but should it be? Yeah. But it's a chance for the Saints to show they're better than what that was in Seattle. LSU is going out to Ole Miss with an opportunity to put another notch on their belt, and they need it probably because the national media ain't loving what it looks like from Clemson to Florida being on their schedule. Then they get a break to get healthy and hit a gauntlet. So big game this weekend for LSU. And again, the Pels are kicking off training camp. They're at practice. Zion looks great. Herb, Trey, the boys, Jose, my man Alvarado is back. The rookies are there putting in work, and they're building brick by brick. They're building a new culture for this new look Pelicans team. So I'm excited. Look, if you can't get excited about nothing else, man, be excited about these hometown teams, Louisiana sports teams. So shout out to everybody still pushing through the high school football season. I got my representation, baby. You see it. Shaw Eagles, current state champs. So hopefully we'll repeat. We'll see how it goes. Cars out there rocking people, doing just, man, that team there is bad. We'll see if they keep going. And then it's a good time. Basketball's kicking off. Campus around the state. Southern is having a good season so far. So let's keep it going. Keep it rolling. Like, subscribe, comment below. Tell a friend. And I'll be back at you every week with just buku knowledge, buku takes. These might not be hot takes, but look, we're building the culture ourselves of fans being able to express themselves, how they feel, good or bad. So this includes you. So I need you to comment, tap in, follow on Instagram, follow on Twitter, X, whatever you call it. Get in the conversation. and be a part of this movement, man. Because look, you can do one or two things. You can boot up or you can shut up. Peace.